What's up, everybody? Dr. Vince here, and Happy New Year. I'm sure you've been told that a million times so far, so I'll just add to that. But hey, it's January 2nd, 2019. We are underway. And hey, that's awesome because we want to, hey, really attack this year, right? And so if you're not prepared yet, if you haven't planned yet for 2019, that's okay. From a business perspective, we have to do it at some point very soon, hopefully in the early part of January. And so in this, we've been covering 12 different ways we can bulletproof our practice in 2019. What is up, free lifogram? So day one, we talked about establishing target goals and stats. Day two, we talked about creating a unifying message for your practice, like a USP, which is a unique selling proposition. Is kind of what, in the marketing circles, what they call essentially a way to differentiate your practice, differentiate yourself, right? So that's what we covered on day two. On day three, we talked about, hey, let's assess all our marketing campaigns from 2018 and determine the return on investment for all the different campaigns that we did. And then, hey, what worked, what didn't work, and then let's toss the ones that didn't work and then take the ones that did. And then on day four, we talked about, hey, creating our marketing calendar for 2019, right? That's what we want to do. So we have our goal, we know what worked and what didn't, and then we want to then lay out for the entire year everything that has worked for us in the past, right? So, and it's not always about adding tons of stuff for our life. Sometimes it's subtracting stuff from our life where we can simplify things and get more honed in, more focused on what's really working. So in this case, we want to, hey, let's throw up everything that worked for us in 2018 because we want to do it again. And it may be paid stuff, it may be non-paid internal stuff. You may have been out in the community doing some events, whatever it is. Let's get it on the calendar so that we know, okay, this is what we're going to be doing moving forward. Next, we want to see if we just did these things, right? If we just did those things, will we hit our goals? And you have to get granular with your numbers, like in terms of your practice. Like if you want to be at $1 million in revenue, how many new patients does that look like? How many visits does that look like? All that type of stuff. Like get granular with it so that you know very specifically, because then we work backwards, right? Well, where do we want to be at the end of quarter one? Where do we want to be at the end of quarter two? Where do we want to be at the end of quarter three if we're going to be on track to hit our goals, right? So that was the marketing calendar. We did that on day four. And then day five, we talked about now we're going to install, because most likely what you have up on your calendar is not going to get you there, right? Because you took out all these other things. So, and you want to grow, right? We don't want to stagnate. We don't want to just do what we did last year. So we want to now start to say, hey, what can we add, right? And you don't overwhelm yourself and say, okay, what am I going to do for the entire year? Oof, what a pain in the ass. No, just look at quarter one. What is in the first 90 days of 2019, what do you want to install in terms of different marketing campaigns so that you can hit that quarter one goal, right? So if you need to have, say, 90 new patients by the end of quarter one, well, what marketing campaigns do you have on the books for first quarter? How many would you anticipate that in terms of new patients do you anticipate that to get? And then how many more do you need? And then let's add in some campaigns. So what are examples of some marketing you can do? Obviously, you're probably already doing Facebook, probably some Google, maybe some SEO. If you're not doing SEO, by the way, highly recommend you allocate some resources to that, because a lot of doctors, they're all into paid, and so they've kind of pulled away from SEO. And SEO patients, customers, clients, whatever you want to call it, whatever they are for your business. I specify in helping chiropractors grow their practice, but whatever it is, those patients are typically really good quality patients because they've done the research, and they they've settled on you, right? By the time they've done the research and they've made a phone call or scheduled an appointment or whatever it is, they've chosen you. So they're really good quality, right? As opposed to, well, they saw an ad for some special, like $27 and you get a million things. But no, they searched, they did, looked at all these different websites and they found, okay, this is the guy I'm going to go to, or the lady that I'm going to go to. So SEO, I would recommend putting some money into SEO. And typically you shouldn't have to pay more than $500 to $800 a month for good SEO. What's up, Jonathan? So you shouldn't have to really pay more than $500 to $800 a month for good SEO. There is a company I like called the Hoth.com, HOTH.com, and they have a local package. I think it's $500. I mean, it's a pretty good deal, and they will get you up on page one. It's got to be on page one, right? What are some other campaigns that you could do or look into in terms of filling out your 90-day first quarter goals? Tons of stuff. You can go old media. You could do inserts in newspaper. These work really well for very specific types of conditions like knee pain, neuropathy, decompression, you name it, headaches, car accidents, all those types of things. Direct mail. Direct mail continues to just chug away, and no one ever does it. No one ever really thinks that much about it, at least in the chiropractic community, very much anyways. But there's a reason why you continue to get credit card and all kinds of crap in the mail. Like, you get life insurance advertisements in the mail, usually from AAA and stuff like that. Credit card, they've crunched all their numbers and it has all paid off, right? So anyways, direct mail will work. Newspaper inserts. You can do radio spots. You can do 30 or 60-second radio spots, right? As long as you get consistent, that can really work well. And in smaller markets, small to mid-sized markets, that's typically super affordable. You can do internal stuff with your patients, patient appreciation days. You can do business outreach. You can form, kind of a mastermind within your community of other business owners, and then you all, can help each other. So there's tons of stuff you can do. You just have to get creative, right? And what I would recommend is, wait a second. Let's not dive too deep into that. So day 5 was installing new marketing campaigns. Day 6, let's look at your pricing structure, right? So a lot of times we as chiropractors, we don't raise our prices very often. And so what happens is inflation increases about 3% a year, right? So every 3 years, we really have the ability to increase our prices by about 10%. And we're just going to be, industry standard. This is the norm of the market. So what I'd recommend is, hey, look at all your pricing. When was the last time you raised your prices? And then if you haven't raised it in the last 3 years, bump it up by 10%. So if your adjustment is $50, raise it to $55. If your rehab is $35 per unit, raise it to $40. And just go through all the different services that you offer and just raise it by 10%, right? And so you get an immediate raise for yourself. And the way to do this is go to Amazon and just order a custom plaque that says, we have raised our prices as of January 1st. Please see the front desk for any questions. And then the front desk, all they're going to say is, oh yeah, we haven't raised our prices in years. And so, we're just staying current with the economy. And, hey, Dr. Smith is worth it, right? He's awesome, isn't he? And so just keep it light, very frank, very straightforward. And look, if you lose a patient because you raised that a bit amount, then they are probably, not a good fit for you anyway. So don't be worried about losing patients, okay? But anyways, take a look at your pricing structure. You can give yourself an immediate raise that's going to give you some excellent, long-term bottom line impact. And then the other thing I would say, if you are a doctor that offers care plans, that you're treating neuropathy or knee pain or something that takes like a finite period of time, like 2 to 3 months, and you have a cash care plan, it's $3,500, it's $5,500, whatever it is. Look at how you can possibly improve that and increase the value and increase the price just a little bit, right? And again, we're not looking to go from 5,500 to 6,500. You know, and especially if you've tested, like say you're, you know, like for us, we tested everywhere from 4,000 up to 8,000. We finally settled just below 6,000 because we found a lot of resistance at that 6. So say you're at 5,400 or 5,100 or 3,200, you could go up all the way up to say 3,900, and you probably won't have any problem in terms of, you know, feedback or resistance at the price, because it's not the 3 that they're worried about, it's the 4. Does that make sense? So it's not anything within the 3,000 range, they're not going to really balk. It's when it gets to 4,000, or anything in the 5,000 range is okay, but it's the 6,000 range where they have kind of issues with. So, and every market's different, right? You need to test it, but if you're comfortable, you know, at that number and you know, in that range, you probably have some latitude to go up. And so for them, it's not going to be a big deal. It's going to be a few $100s. But then for you, if you go from say 3,200 or 3,300 up to say 3,800 or 3,900, that's going to have a big impact on your bottom line over the course of the year, right? So, so that is day 6. This is of the 12 ways we can bulletproof our practice for 2019. Look at your pricing structure, right? And for the full training that goes through all 12 ways, check out www.chiropracticconsulting.co. So hey, again, Happy New Year to everybody. Love you guys. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.